Okay. We stop it there. We're not. We're just gonna we clip farm. We're clipping farm for a bit. Okay. Um, what is this? What does this mean? Currently, this is Nathaniel, January 13th, 2026, editor. As you couldn't tell already, I'm kind of Suave today. I'm also booked and doing my assignments today. So currently you see it's like 1:33 p.m. I did a little bit of my assignment in the morning, and then I'm gonna do the rest of my assignments later in the day because I have my independent study with Brigitte, second independent study. Talk to her about my concept stuff. But here is the breakdown. Currently, it is November 26th, 2025, for this video specifically and what I spent. And I have footage for that. Wow. And that's why you see it's a very long video. So I'm not going to keep you away from if you want to watch it or not. I don't know. You don't have to watch it. That's the incentive. But essentially, this is what I did on this day. So November 26th was Wednesday. These black bars, for DigiPen's sake, is the Thanksgiving holiday break. So it's Thursday, Friday. You will see me if I don't have any context to the videos the next time around, which I do have footage still though, is that I spent most of the time just traveling, going to Spokane. That's all I will say. So I'm not even in the Redmond area more. This is like me, like in the Spokane area, like this. And then this is the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. That's about it. I think I will do the edits for this video and this video and this video and this video tomorrow because I only have law class. But speaking of that, that's what I'm gonna say. And also, it'll be the end of this month for the videos specifically. So I'm kinda excited to see how I edit these last 4 videos. This one doesn't count because it's not there, but there's only 4 more videos left in November, and then we go to December, and then I can finally start doing things that I want to do with the YouTube channel. So hopefully I don't postpone that, but make up time for it so that when the bangers happen, that's it. Otherwise, cue the calendar. Cue the count. What's it? Okay, I gotta stop raising you. For a deadline you can't meet, what does that mean? Like the concept of time, I think our biggest motivational goals that hinder us unconsciously is a deadline. Not a hotline, a deadline. Not when the phone dies, but when you make milestones for yourself to hit and to finish something. I think the one thing when it comes to education is to learn how to take off those handicaps for yourself and to hold them by the reins. I'm really reminded as of now How to Train Your Dragon, where Hiccup would fly toothless the first time, and they're just trial and error. Obviously, it works when they fly, and it's just a different perspective in life. Like you're above the horizon, you're above the clouds, you are seeing like how small the island is, and like wow, I've done something. But that's just that feeling. It's not the whole metaphor of what I'm trying to say for achieving nothing or getting the reins of something to get out of nothing. I think for me, as of right now, as I feel like I am
going away from the thing I'm trying to say, but I'm gonna say here, is that whatever you work on in life is gonna take effort into doing. And the amount of energy you consume, whether if it's visually or you're eating or you're exercising or you are managing other people, that's a part of work, or trying to like goods and services, or just general relationships with people, is tough. And another thing that I didn't want to forget is that yesterday, Elaine, who is the director of like the arts in DigiPen, he was going over the new project stuff. And the biggest takeaway from his small 15-minute-ish talk for what we're going to do, which next semester is going to be pretty much just like a whole independent study. It's like you make something new and make it however you want with the teachers that we're going to provide you, is this: you don't go to DigiPen to serve DigiPen. You go to DigiPen to better yourself. To be with like-minded, okay, I'm adding on this word, to be with like-minded individuals so you can bounce off ideas from them, connect with them, and to not be afraid to do what you want to pursue, is the type of vibe it was. But the first half, where it's like being selfish about yourself, like this semester, next semester, is to start focusing on yourself, being selfish about yourself in your career. Because the question was if you can be on like a teams project thing where you can help other teams, and it would be like in the junior semester. And he's like, you have the option. And then Alon's like, you have the option to do so, but I'm not going to advise you to do so. I'll try to steer you away from it, but if you really, really have an idea that you want to work on a team, then you can. And it's more or less you can't work with other seniors on a team project as well. Like that's like a whole separate thing because it's more towards your portfolio. But the basic thing is that a lot of people last semester or the year before us or after us, before us, yes, they were talking about like they regretted a little bit, and probably only one person successfully did something in a team project that they were happy with and they moved up the portfolio. But majority who do that feel like they didn't get enough for themselves in what they do, and they hardly grade on the overall game from the junior aspect of it. They just grade on your contribution to the thing that you're doing. So nerf or nothing. And this is, I think I'm just going to speak to myself on this, so I'm going to for me as an individual, this is no placebo effect on myself. I've lived with this for like 10 years or plus, 20, 22 years of myself. That I'm someone who can easily cry at a movie even if it was not supposed to be that sappy. Like, I'm the type of person to be like, obviously, like, the saddest movie to me during my childhood was Bridge of Terabithia. Like, it's that endearing. And childhood memories of, like, Mr. Gregorium's Wonder Emporium. Like, that was also a good movie. Or The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. That's also another good movie. And I find it that I'm just generally an emotional person. And when it comes to just working on myself or having people who are like saying, this is like the end of your semester, like this is the start of your adulthood, this is like or feeding off people who are feeling that way, I don't push it down. Like, that's like, no, I let it I acknowledge it in a way from other people. And I'm someone who is like the board for people so they can talk about these things. And then I talk about it to them, and it's like I help them through it, just capacity, and like be like the extroverted person in the group, saying like you are well endowed in whatever you do in life. Um, I believe in you. If anytime you ever want to talk, like let me know. But I think the most interesting thing is not the aspect for me is like when I feel it after the morning. You know, when I make the plans that I want to do in life and I don't double check on it, I think is what I want to get out with this video. I think there's a constant thing that I'm slowly degrading on, which is double checking on myself. Not double thinking, 1984, but double checking on like my to-dos for the day, for the week. Like I make them, but I don't look back on them. And I feel like I have no structure at that point when I don't look back on them. Because I feel like I'm distracted by the things in which try to pull me into something else, like doom scrolling. And oftentimes, it's one of those battles where I try not to look at my phone and I do my work that I want to do. But sometimes, it's always like I have to also keep in mind of like a phone call or a message from a teammate or my parents that I have to contribute on that. And then being those things that are more focused in my life than my project stuff or like my own homework assignment stuff, I feel like that takes a part of me and then makes me hone in on that specific thing. And then I'm separate. I'm not working at my best capacity, which is not to say that it's weird for me to be checked up on. I think being someone who is emotional has this emotional investment in other people and seeing what they need or what their concerns for takes me out of myself to feel like, what do I feel that I need to consider? What do I feel that I want to do in this situation? Because I'm more of a listener than a proactive engager in like thinking about myself on like a personal level. So when I'm listening, I'm sort of like, I listen to them. I listen to their thoughts. I'm not listening to my own thoughts, if that makes sense. So what I want to go about is this. I think in life, you can tell so many stories about yourself. You can try to engage with so many things in life, and at the end of the day, as a human, you have to sleep sometime, 1 hour or 1 second or another. And often than not, for whatever it is that you feel like you're suppressing, it's going to surface one way or another through other people, through just things that you do that feel like it's lacking in your life, or just you yourself feeling confused as to why am I feeling this way? And then you gotta just express it. And to circle back on the idea that I've been rubbing my legs in the morning, in night, having a frustration to sleep. One thing's for certain, don't have internet with you. Being that my job is sort of like being on like Houdini, like softwares, I think when I go back to bed, or I try to take a break from my assignments, I need to enforce in myself to have times where I just don't look at a monitor, don't look at blue screen, don't look at anything, and let my brain just not reset, but just like level out again. And not to worry about anyone else who's gonna text me or not. Like sure, like I'm obviously gonna like respond to it, or like if I see it on my phone, I will. But like don't pressure myself to expect the expectations on myself. Okay. These are things I would write in my journal. Like don't just check in with yourself once in a while. And I think those meditations of like just sitting and like locking in, it's checking in on yourself. It's to be like, am I centered in life today? Or am I someone who needs a laugh, then schedule time, and then don't let yourself find loopholes in which make you believe that you need more time from that, from the waste of time of things that you feel like is just entertainment in that capacity. And I think that balance for me, when it comes to my card game, gotcha, on the go, and making YouTube videos, is why I feel like I have felt myself feel this decline of like, do I want to keep posting videos? I don't know. But I'm still making these videos specifically, not even because of my daily recap of Instagram, but I think it's just built into me now that when I do edit my videos, just know that it's like, I feel like it's weirdly the best thing in my life to like revisit, even if it's like the worst thing, even if it's like the good thing, because then I'm looking in the future and I'm sort of like, wow, how come I'm here and why am I not doing what I want to do in my life? That type of capacity. I know what I want to do in my life, but it's like when you rediscover something, you're like, why was this never pushed on me? Like that enlightenment of like, why do I set myself back on these things? And why does it take so long for Google Drive to load all these things? And I think a last thing I will say, this is the whole day of the day, I guess. What I'm going to do today is I have to make sure that my apartment is good, it's clean. I'm thinking of Fatburger again, right now. But I have to just shut down like my apartment because I'm gonna go with my parents to go on a road trip to meet my sister somewhere in Spokane. So that's like roughly like a 4 or 5 hour drive. And then spend Thanksgiving there. I feel like I want to edit my videos during the time. I'm definitely gonna bring my calendar. I think that would be kind of neat as well. To just do an edit. And I know that will take probably the 3 days to do. And there's like a nerve in me where I'm like, I want to show my sister my card game to play test my card game, even though she's not gonna. Okay, my guess is like she's not gonna be really into it, or it's like sort of like boring, a little bit boring. But like again, she's not a card game person. She's more or less like a TV like movie like watcher or so and so. But I'm just you're right. It'd be awesome, and just get her thoughts on someone who doesn't play card games. What does she feel like when she plays the game? But it's one of those things where I think about time and the concept of time. I think you think about the concept of time more when you are older than when you're younger. I think when I was like a teenager, like I was thinking about my future. And I think future and time are separate things. I feel like time for me is like, what can I do now in a day? Because of these videos where I'm like, okay, I need to fit a short amount of content in the video, probably less than an hour-ish or 2 hours-ish. But then when I watch these videos, I'm like, wow, it's so good. Each day is great. But at the same time, it feels like each day is so fast when I feel like I'm wasting time on those things, where it's like when I am doom scrolling, when I am not being proactive in things, I feel the dread of like the day is over. I didn't do that much in my day. Not for like the ranker aspect. I love the ranker aspect of it, even if it was like an F tier or something. But it's like, whoa, that's why I'm seeing a constant B. That's why I'm seeing like constant C's, because I just feel like I am not equating the perception of like my work and what I do in my videos, or how I feel in my videos. No, I equate a lot of how I feel, I think it's that aspect of like what you don't see on camera and what I feel internally on camera is how I judge myself for each day. And I think that's like 60% of the graph of like a 20 to 20 or like a 30 to 10 of like 30s like what I actually did, like I went out with my friends, like that's great. And then the 10% is like what was that amount of time that I spent doing like extracurricular stuff. Then the 30%, which is like my work and my time and doing things, and then 60% is like my attitude towards the day. So I've been watching this guy's videos that this person did like a water soaker thing, going up to people, and the lightsaber thing, or going to a snowball fight with people in YouTube Shorts, and it's fun. It's great. That's all I gotta say. um, and I also watched a YouTube video of a Minecraft video about the inventory system. That was good. And now I'm so into the idea of like understanding Magic and Gathering cards to put it for my card game and then make a spreadsheet and to understand the ratio in which I need to make cards balanced overall and feel good when it comes to just playing a game in my strict rules. And all of that I've said doesn't matter to you. What matters is the infliction, the passion behind the thing, to just hear someone out for once. So that's my takeaway for today, plus the storyline of what I'm saying. I think that there are times when you don't appreciate the life that you can get. And I've said this in some occasions in my videos, because you're so caught up in trying to work for it, you know? And I think in the way of appreciating it, it's not like looking down on your balcony of like your wealth and being like, ha ha ha, these plebes, I work so hard. Oh my gosh, I own so many houses and I do so many on calls for people and teach them how to be a guru in my life. I'm not mocking them. I'm just like, it's one of those like not frugal, like not messy. But I'm like, if you're a business major, come on, like try to do the hustle. But uh lucrative. It feels very like, yes, it's taking ownership of your life, like sacrificing it and then sharing it to the world. But then I'm like, that's great. You're one of many people who share that sacrifice in your life, which I like that constant reminder. But it's one of those things when you look on your phone and you're in bed and you see that, you're like, wow, next video. And it's like a monkey dancing, like yay! Or then it becomes a Smosh video, and then it becomes like that's the vibe of a doom scroll. I'm contextualizing it right now, like the vibe of a doom scroll. Here are the things that I want to change in my life. 1, don't look at my phone in the morning. and spend an hour of being present in the moment before I go to sleep. These are rituals. These are my personal rituals, and I don't know if it will impact you, but this is just how I feel. If as an emotional person, if you want to try it, go ahead. 2, when I wake up in the morning, um, I want to be able to sit up, not use my phone, and then just scribble and write whatever I'm thinking in the morning. Then I get up, then I go outside, no matter what. Then I go back inside. I shower. I still don't look at my phone. And then I write down what I want to do today. Not look at my calendar on my Google app or calendar, like whatever, or my board. I'm just like, I'm gonna write and brainstorm something to do today, or just to explore today. I think that's like something I feel like I don't really hear a lot from gurus. That I feel like for me, as someone who is a creative, wants to do, it doesn't even have to be thematic of the day. It's just like I get up in the morning, I write something, I draw something, just to wake up my brain to be like, you are a creative person, come on, get up, king, get up, king. And then when I do, then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be hungry. What do I want to eat? Do I want to get Fatburger? Do I not want to get? Do I want to get McDonald's? Do I want to cook something for myself because I feel like I need that skill? Then I do that. I eat. Then, after I eat, I go back to my board and then figure out what I'm going to do today and stick with that and not think about anything else. Unless I have to look at my phone and I see a message like, did you do this or not? I'm like, oh my gosh, make sure you send this and that. Then I do those things. I make those my priority. I slowly link into my phone, correlating what I want to do today without expecting like what I want. Because I feel like when you're on your phone, sure you can have like the time hour things. But I feel like there's a part of you where that you have to like first establish what you want to do, then you go out to see what other people are doing. Because I feel like when you see like what other people are doing, then you're not going to really think about yourself. You're going to be thinking about, that took 10 minutes to talk, wow, so that's going to be great to download. But it's going to be like rough to detach yourself. So at the end of the day, what have you learned? I'm chronically online. I gotta stop that. I need to figure out a routine for myself that makes me think about myself first, then vicariously living through others. And 3, I'm too emotionally inept with myself. Whether if it's with other people letting me know things in my life that I have to expect in my future, or to make sure that other people as well are in tune with what they believe still and still on track in whatever they want to do in life, and not feel like they're derailing their own lives and expectations on themselves because they also see this ambiguous fog that they believe that they're not enough in life. Anyone is enough in life. I think it's just how we grow up, who we surround ourselves with, how we perceive our own works, whatever we do and feel like failures. But I think that makes a key part in being human. Third part is to understanding that like your weaknesses are just stepping stones in trying to keep yourself to learn in your own mental lexicon that become the foundations of your do's and don'ts. To stick with them. And just like the string theory I said a while back with videos, is that when you fold them up, your do's and don'ts, all your failures, all your successes that you feel like you're really doing, You become your own like DNA strand. You become your singularity in which like you want to follow this timeline because you're so ambitious about whatever you're gonna do in life now. Don't let yourself break that. Don't let yourself feel like you have to end this high of like feeling like you need to explore everything. I think you find yourself first in the things that you care about. And where do you find what the things that you care about? By having this courageous ignorance to want to learn and get to know things in life. Like, confused confidence, you know, or whatever I said in the video in this one. That's my third takeaway. So what would I rank today as a pre-notion? Because I don't think I'm gonna really upload unless I do like an end credits upload just to show like, hey, I made it to my parents' place. I would rank today solid B. Because I feel like I should be going to lighting class today, but it's gonna be online. So maybe. Or if I'm not, during the time when I'm driving. And also there's no homework assignment, so that's why I feel like I'm in a gray area to be like, I should be doing something today. Maybe I should be doing independent study stuff. That's great. But or doing my lighting, or doing my portfolio stuff. Like, see, there's like so many things. I just need to put them in a list that I have not to do things. That's just me. I'll see you when I see you on the other side. Okay, the one thing I want to preface actually, if I feel like I misconstrued myself a little bit, is the reason of like go on and travel. Ooh. Damn, look at that. Look at that. I think the one thing about the reason to travel and to go places, because for me, I'm a military brat, so I've gone through like the US, so I feel like I don't really need to travel as often, but I can feel like I can find myself in the stigma of like, man, I need to go out more to do things, right? Obviously. But the reason to travel, I think, this is the biggest takeaway, I guess, is just to see how other people live their lives. I've seen like a YouTube short where this person's like, I'll pay you $100 if you can feed me food or something. And like, yeah, sure. And it was just people on a boat ride or on a boat of their own. And it's like, we've been doing this like for 40 years, just traveling the world, you know. I think there's a part of you where it's like you are getting to know like more than just like where you live and where you go, and, you know, it's like you learn more about like the identity of like, oh my gosh, home is where you make it, you know, obviously. Wow, that's great. But not just where home is where you make it, it is how people are like in other countries and worlds. And I think that's the most enriching part about life as a human, is that if you take yourself through opportunities in which let you understand how other humans are, not just through a means of like understanding them to like use them, but just to understand them in a way where it's like how they live and took their chance in surviving in life, to me is like, I feel like my overarching end goal in this life that I have is to be some sort of support, or be some sort of person who contributes to life in a means that doesn't feel like I'm hindering my own self first, accountable in like trying to de-regress myself into not growing from this because I have an opportunity to live, but also having some form of impact with people that they can realize that, you know, it's worth living in life. And I think I'm lucky enough to have like the weird mindset of like, I see the bad, I go through the bad, and I've seen the good and I go through the good. And I don't let one outweigh the other, even if through how I speak or how I feel. I go through it in a sense of that it's a chapter in my life that I know I'm going to try to overcome. And even if I don't find that in myself, think about it with like entrepreneurs, right? When they want to start up a company, they're gonna see time and time again like different types of like no's until they like try to like make something happen. Especially with like this one person who's doing like Dynasty TCG, shout out, of like, here's how I start off my TCG. And I feel like that's just the future me, and how he talks and how he like articulates, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And sometimes I'm like, I hate watching this guy because I feel like I'm sort of looking at myself a little bit in the picture, where I'm like, is this who I am? Is this who I will become when I do go down this route? And that's where I'm like, damn, it turned yellow. Okay, that's fine. Hold the brakes, 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 hold the brakes. There's a person walking. No, it's like, I think I learned, for me at least, early in life, that one, I feel like my brain develops faster than most people. Nor am I saying I'm the most intelligent person in the world. I think I'm just the more emotionally in tune with myself in the world. And where I feel like these milestones that a lot of people say, it's like, oh my gosh, this is like, I feel like I've been through that when I was like a teenager. But now it's like I'm feeling it when I'm in it, you know, than just watching it. It's like if you watch someone, for example, do a Rubik's Cube, right? That's like, whoa, that's awesome, that's insane. And like, it feels like, wow, that was so easy. But then you are handed a Rubik's Cube and you're like, oh. And then trial and error, you got to learn through other videos and how other people, and you talk to people who are experiencing Rubik's Cubes to understand how to do it. And then you practice so, and then you might get frustrated. Maybe you never feel like you solve it, but then you solve it to some capacity when you take a little bit of break, a hiatus even sometimes, and then you go back and you're like, wow, that's kind of cool. Or you just keep continuously do it. Like, there's so many ways to go about life. The one struggle is when to still keep going and when to redirect yourself. So that's it. There's also something happening over there. So what I'm here for, though, is my Fatburger. I'll do a small review, I guess. We back. Here are the things you need to eat Fatburger. Dude, sometimes, like literally, my skin, I put lotion, bro. I'm sorry you're gonna see this. Okay. It's cold. That's how you know it's cold. So, what did I get? I'm gonna taste one thing and I'm gonna rate it. I've learned my rating system is this. A 1, 2, a 3, or a 4 is like, I would never get this again. I would not, like 1 to 2, I'm not gonna pick it up again. I won't finish it. It was like that coffee, the McDonald's coffee. Like, I finished it, but I'm like, I'm never gonna finish it again. Like, it was that low. That's my base level. And then you get like to the 5 to the 7, like 5 to 6 is like, okay, it's like there. I'm not in the mood for it. I feel like every 7 or 8 or 9 that I have rated have felt like it's good in the moment, but then afterwards there's like a downgrade after I digest it as food. So keep that in mind. And then 10, it's like, oh yeah, I would have it again. A little bit indigestion, a little bit, but it's like, it's good. And this is all just me. So what I got was, I got this chicken. Does it say? It doesn't say. Okay, I got this burger. This is a very big burger than your typical McDonald's burger. It's a fat burger. Damn, this looks good. Okay, you don't see the steam. There's steam coming. This is a crispy chicken burger with a lettuce and bread. The bread is okay. But man, like the crispiness that you heard just now. It's reminiscent to like a chip. Like a Tostitos chip, but with like a little bit of char, which is like a chicken, and then a soft tenderness of a chicken inside of a chicken. I will give it it's definitely better than the spicy chicken I can get at McDonald's, and you get 2 of the same chicken. Like you have, there's one chicken here, and then there's another chicken in the middle, and then there's lettuce, and there's like, I think ranch of some sort, or like, I would rate this 10 out of 10. I would get this again, for me at least. I'm like, whoa, 10 out of 10, amazing. Also, I got 2 veggies. I can't write. I got 2 veggies. Blue cheese ice cream. Taking off your more blue cheese. Damn, did I get 2 blue cheeses? I guess so. Because with that, I got 6-piece boneless wings, which I want to try. I'll try that last, actually. I feel like I'm mukbanging right now, and there's a lot of people, a lot of cars back. They're going to watch my feed, and they're like, what? No! Oh, yeah. I did! I didn't mean to! Okay. No, okay. I thought I got... I'll give this to one of my subscribers. I got 3 cookies, right? And I thought I clicked it once. But no. I clicked it twice. I clicked it twice. Like you get the cookie. I don't use much cookies. I'll give it to my parents if anything. Yeah, that's what. But I'll try 1 cookie. I feel like the McDonald's cookies, superior. They feel like Chips Ahoy cookies, you know, like softer Chips Ahoy cookies, but not artificial. A little bit artificial, you know, obviously, but it's like, it doesn't feel like it. It's the texture of a Chips Ahoy cookie, like a soft Chips Ahoy cookie. Well, softer. I'm saying that because this tastes like a big Chips Ahoy cookie.
This one doesn't break easily, but it's a soft cookie where it feels like the batter is just batter. I would say if I'm getting 3 cookies on that size, I will feel a little bit sick. I would say if you're a cookie lover, this is a 9 out of 10. If you are not a cookie lover and you can easily get full, I think this was like an 8. I don't think it was slower. I think it fluctuates to an 8 to a 9, depending on whatever you're doing. But yeah. So, okay. Now we got... Yeah, I did an online order for it. It's Arc Raiders. Okay. I've not played Arc Raiders in a bit. That's also saying something. Where's my straw? They don't have boba. They just have shakes. So this is the chocolate chip cookie shake. Yes, it's in this form. So having a cookie right now, I'm comparing it to this. It's very hard to drink from. Not because of the straw. Yes, because of the straw. Okay. I like the little chunks of cookie that is soft in there. It is reminiscent to the cookie, the 3 cookies that I ate. And the whipped cream aspect of it is not there. But it's like if you had grinded a little bit chocolate chips, but there's some little solid chunks of chocolate chips, and you eat that, and it's soft. Then the shake itself is very thick. That's why I was comparing it, like, is it from the straw? I'm like, yes, it's probably from the straw. If I had like a boba straw, then it would be a little bit easier. But it's not like, my brain goes to cement. But it's just overall thick. This is a thick shake. Ooh. So I would say if you love a thick shake with a little bit of crumbly of a chocolate chip cookie, I would give this, it's, okay, also, it doesn't feel like it's gonna make my body freeze or cold. Like, it's cold right now. Like, if I had, like, the fruit punch thing, like, drink, like, here, right now, like, I would get, like, freezing cold because that's, like, a freeze shake. But it's, like, this is, like, a milkshake. So that's why it's, like, very thick. And I wanted to know if it was from it or not. Also similar to the Jack in the Box shake, you know, the boba one. It's different. Definitely this one's thicker. That's why I'm like, okay. But I would rate it, if you like a milkshake and all that. And if I had it for one time, or multiple times, it would be a... And if you like cookies again, it would be like a 9 out of 10. If you don't like cookies, then it's gonna be like a, you know, like an 8. If you're not a texture person, probably like a 7. Writing there. I don't think it's lower than a 6. I think it's good. Like, would I give this every time? No. This is more like a dessert drink. And then lastly, oh my god, my nose. The wings. So I'm going to... I have to try... Oh no! Blue cheese! Okay. The carrot. The carrot has the carrot taste. You're like, what is the carrot taste? It's very plasticky. Plasticky in the way where it's like cardboard. You know, I imagine if I ate cardboard, but it's like watermelon vibe cardboard. You know what I'm saying? It's not juicy, but when you bite into it, you taste the after flavor of it. And then later, as you break it more down, it's like cardboardy. Like it's like, oh, it's just something in your mouth. I think there's a difference between that and then eating a chip. This one, it's not, I wouldn't say it's fresh. Like even with this ants on the law looking food. Like, you look at it, it feels like you're eating a plastic bag. Like, imagine what a plastic bag would taste like. This is what it would be. It's like tasting pool water, you know? Like you're tasting the chlorine, you know? That type of vibe. Very chewy. Nothing new in that experience. If you like these two things, why would it be a 10 out of 10? I would rate this. I'm someone who's like okay with these. I know when growing up I did not like these. Nor did I like raisins. So that reference was terrible. But I would say these two alone is like a 6 out of 10. Like, it's only a 6 out of 10 for how basic it is. I feel like 7, 8, or 9 are like not close to revolutionary, but it's like, ooh, okay. I tried this once, it's good. This, I've had this in my childhood and not, but then revisiting it now, it's like, did I miss anything? No, I didn't miss anything. And I don't like the texture of the celery. But blue cheese. Yeah. My nose. This is boneless chicken. Blue cheese. Okay. Every time. Okay, let me just taste it first. Oh, wait. Look at that chicken. So white. Right into my teeth. White like my eyebrow. I got the sweet bourbon barbecue sauce. It's very sweet. There's a little bit of heat. Not too much heat. There's like a mild heat. And the chicken, it's not like hot. All the flavor is coming from the sauce. The chicken, from the difference of chicken from this to the sandwich, and I think it's not as easy to break down with your teeth as opposed to this. This feels like it's just been sitting, which is fine because I drove here to get my thing, so I'm not really gonna account for that. But I'm just saying that's like, it's soaked in sauce, so that's why it's not, there's not like the crispy aspect of it. And then the meat part is sort of like white meat. You know, it's like it's like a turkey, right? It's like when you soak it up, and it's like you don't get like, you get like a tender white part of like the chicken, or like the chicken leg, and then you like taste it, it's like but if you cook it longer, then it's like it's like it just falls off the bone, like that type of vibe. I feel like the chicken that I had for the sandwich was like fall off the bone vibe a little bit, but not entirely. This is like when it's sitting there and it's like, okay, you let it sit and then you eat it type of chicken, you know, it's still formed. Now I'll have blue cheese. Blue cheese is an accessory. It's not something that comes with it. You get to choose different types of more options from it. I think also another reason why I got blue cheese was because my VFX instructor, Russell, he was like, the one thing that wings should not have is blue cheese. Anyone who likes blue cheese, disgusting. It's like, why would you? Why would you? And to that I say, after tasting it, because I didn't know, I'm not someone who also has blue cheese, is this. That it tastes a lot like if I melted cheese at room temp and then put it on the chicken in a sauce format. And it's like more of a flavor profile than a textural profile. I think it amounts to the idea that if you put ranch with ketchup, are you that type of person? You know? Where you have these different combinations of like a very citric like ranch with like dressing with like the little bit green bits, and then you have the ketchup, which is more like tomatoey, but artificial tomatoey, where it's like you taste the citrus aspect of it. Maybe not the citrus aspect of it, but the flavor profiles combat each other. Like eating, like brushing your teeth and then like having, was it like a banana or something? Hitting that, like just two different things bouncing off, I think is the vibe he's talking more. For me, I liked it. But I can imagine my stomach, if I eat a lot of those, to be very upset. Because it's, you know, in quantities, it's like depending. So what I would say for me would be that I would rate the chicken. Okay, I'll do an average ranking. The carrot and the celery was a 6, you know, because it's a combo meal, okay? Then, with just the chicken alone, with the sweet sauce, it is a solid 8 out of 10. Or 7 to 8 out of 10. I feel like if I reheated it, it would be an 8 out of 10. Would I get it again? I would get it as a side. It's not like my main course, like a burger. Then with the blue cheese, I think it makes it stick to an 8. So overall, it's a 7. A 7 out of 10, which makes sense based off my rating. If the celery overall, but with the chicken alone, a 7 out of 8, depending on the heating. And then with the blue cheese, I personally liked it. I'm a cheese guy, so that's what I'm getting at. It's an 8. If you're not a cheese person, I would say it's a 7 or a 6. So it would be an average, a 6.5 or a 7 on a grading scale, like realistically. But if you heat it up, don't get your different sauce, then it would be a 7. the lady next to me that I unconsciously parked next to. She finally got in her car. It kind of be awkward that way. But, yeah. That was my food review. Food review with Nathaniel. I'm gonna end it so the lady has to look.